Can I make a Notion template so small you don't need to scroll down at all to see the entire template? Part 1, I go through the template, and part 2, I show you how you can build it from scratch. But yes, you can download the template for free, it's linked in the description, but please watch at least part 1 so you know how to fully use this. Alright, here we have small OS, OS standing for operating system if you don't know. Here we have the all tasks. So this is all of the different tasks that we have. Now, these are specifically the ones that we have not completed. So if I check it in, as you can see, it gets removed from this list. This is specifically the tasks that aren't completed. Now, knowing all the tasks is super useful, but as you can see, some of these have dates. That's because they are showing up here in our calendar. So here we have all the tasks for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we can tick them in right here. I can check them in like this. I can also move it about like this. Super useful. I can plan my entire week, and I can just scroll through the weeks like this in the calendar here. I can also connect this to my Notion calendar if I want. I have a separate tutorial on Notion calendar if you want any help with that. So what if I want to see only these tasks here that don't have a date associated with it? So basically all the tasks that I haven't actually planned out into my week. Well, I can click on the no date tasks. So here I'm seeing all the tasks where the date is empty. So these tasks here don't have a date associated with them, and they are incomplete, as you can see. So if I do this and say, let's do this on Thursday, as you can see, it gets removed from here. And if I click on the week here, you can see it in Thursday. So if you aren't building this from scratch and you're just downloading it, know that these tabs here, these are all the same database. So the amazing thing about Notion is that when we're working with databases, it gives us this flexibility, and we can do a lot more than just working with lists. So for example, if I click on rewrite sales page here, I can actually write all the stuff here, hey, blah, blah. And I can find it right in here. I don't have to go to a separate document. I'm working in one document. All my tasks without a date, I'm seeing my week, and here I have the tasks broken down by bucket. Now, if you don't know what a life bucket is, it's basically what different areas in your life do these tasks fit into. So go for a run, 5-kilometer run, 3-kilometer run, and playing tennis. These all fit into the bucket of fitness. And you can have as many buckets in here as you want. So I've just got 3 right now, but we can always create one. Hang out with blah, and we can say that that is a friend. So if I now create friend as a bucket, if I click in bucket here, you can now see friend hang out with blah. So it's showing up in here and it's created this new bucket. So if we're ever planning out our week and we're thinking, okay, the first thing I want to do is ensure that I'm actually exercising enough, I can click on the fitness bucket here and ensure, have I planned out all of the different fitness related tasks that I want to do? I haven't planned out this one. Cool. Add it to Saturday. It's still in here. And then if I click on week, as you can see, it shows up in here. And once I complete it like this, let's just tick these in like that. As you can see under bucket, they have been removed. So everything is connected and speaking together. Now the last thing here is the journal. I don't think the journal should be a separate page. And especially in the smallest Notion template in the world, we want to ensure that everything is showing up here. As you can see, we haven't scrolled down at any point. We don't need to. Everything we want is just here at the top of the page. So in the journal here, I can either write journal entry as the name of it, or I can just write I feel happy, whatever it is. And then in here, we can start journaling. I feel happy, and so I subscribed. Perfect. And we can add the date to it, so I did that today. And as you see, if we click on week here, it's showing up here, I feel happy. And if I tick this in, we can see it's ticked in here as well. If you want to download it, it is linked free in the description. Now, obviously, this doesn't have all of the different features that you might want in a Notion dashboard, such as dynamic journaling, project management, time tracking, smart life buckets, and a bunch of other features. You can find that in my headquarters template. It is jam-packed with every single feature that you could want in a Notion template. But if you want to build it from scratch, then let's get right into it. All right, part 2, let's actually make this template. So what we're going to do here is /data, and we are going to click on table view here. So the first thing we are going to do is just click on new table. We're going to create a new database, and I'll call this all tasks. And I can click here and I can change the emoji. So let's do the circle here. So this is where I'm going to put all of my different tasks. Write report, make presentation, go for a run. Now, if you don't have this tags property automatically come up, I'll just delete this and create one for you. So you're going to click on the plus, and then here, let's select the select type. So click on that, and we'll call this bucket here. So this will be the different life bucket that it's involving. So write report, we can say that this is to do with work. Make presentation, that is also work. And go for a run is to do with fitness. I'll just make this full width. Now the next thing here to make this work is we need a calendar. So I'm going to do duplicate on all tasks here, and I'm going to click on layout here, and we are going to click on calendar. And then here we're going to change it from show calendar as month to week. There we go. Now we don't have to scroll down, so we can rename this and do it as week. And once again, we can change the icon. So let's do a calendar. That makes sense to me. So as you can see, nothing is showing up here. So because we've added this calendar now, automatically under all tasks, you can see the date property has been added. So what we're going to want to add now here that we have the date is a property saying I don't want to see tasks that have a date associated with them. So now an obvious thing that we're missing is a checkbox to say if it's complete or not. So I'll click on the plus, scroll down and click on checkbox here. And we're just going to do a space here. So instead of calling it checkbox, we'll just do a space, otherwise we're going to see the word done or checkbox or whatever it is 1,000 times on this template, and that's just going to be quite annoying, to be honest. So now if I add a date to this write report and say today, if I go back to the week here, you can see it's sitting in here. So now what we're going to do is change this so we can see all of the different components that we want. So if we click on the 3 dots here and then click on properties, we can say what properties do we want to be able to see here before actually clicking onto the item itself. So I want to say, oh, I want to see this checkbox and I want to see the bucket as well. And what we can do here, if we want work to appear above this checkbox, then we just use these 6 dots here, drag that above, and now as you can see, it's showing up above it here. So now if I complete this write report and I do check, as we can see, it's still showing up here. Now the next thing we are going to want to do here is to add a filter saying I only want to see stuff here that hasn't been ticked in. So we're going to click on filter and we're going to click on this tick box here and we're going to say unchecked. So now we're only seeing stuff here that is unchecked. Now bear in mind, if something has a date on it like this, it's still going to show up here. So what we're going to do is create another tab here that have tasks that don't have a date associated with them. That way we can see all the tasks that haven't been planned out. So what we're going to do is right click on all tasks and do duplicate, and I'll call this no date tasks. And we can change the icon here. Let's just do this circle. So because we duplicated this tab here, automatically this filter gets duplicated with it. So we still want it as unchecked, but we want to add another filter here that is saying only show me dates where the start date is empty. So as you can see, this other task got removed here, the make presentation, because that date is not empty. But if I were to clear that date here and then click back, you can now see make presentation is here. So in here you can see all your tasks. In here you can see all the tasks that don't have a date, so it hasn't been planned out. And in here we can see your entire week. Now we have one more tab to add before we get to the journal. So we are going to right click on the tasks, all tasks here, and do duplicate. And this is going to be broken down by the bucket. So we can change this to whatever you want. I'll just do a square for bucket. And here what we are going to do is work with groups. So right now we have all of these buckets in here. We have work and fitness. So what grouping is going to do is allow us to see work in one list, fitness in one list, and all the others we add in separate lists. So we'll click on the 3 dots here and click on group. Here we will now click on bucket. So now you can see everything to do with fitness is here, everything to do with work is here. And we can open and close these toggles. And if we add anything else, so let's say make digital product sales page, and we'll say that this is for your side hustle. If I create this here and now go to bucket, you can see that this side hustle tab here has been created. So if we ever want to see all the tasks broken down by buckets, we can see them right in here. So now we have all of the tasks, we have the week, and the last thing to add is the journal. So I will right click on all tasks, and I will write journal here, and then we can change the icon. Let's say pen, there we go, that one makes sense. Now what I'm going to do here is just write journal and then add the bucket here and write journal. This can be journal entry, whatever you want. And we are simply going to say that under this journal here, we only want to see stuff relating to the journal. So under this filter right now, because we duplicated the tab, we have this unchecked filter here. So we can just click on these 3 dots and delete that filter. So we're deleting that filter just from this journal tab. And we will add the filter of the bucket and say we only want to see stuff where the bucket is journal. So if I check that in, now you can see that this journal entry is showing up. So if I add a date to it, let's say today, you can see it's showing up here, journal entry for today. So now if I check in this journal entry here, you can see that it still shows up here. That's because we want to find all of the journals in here, whether it's checked in or not. The last thing we can do here is add a sorting, which will sort by the date. So if I add another one here and write journal entry and do Tuesday here, what we can do is click on the sort here and say sort by the date, and we can choose, do we want date ascending or descending? So now I have this list here in order. Now, if you want more advanced features like dynamic journaling, time tracking, smart projects, timetables, and so many other features, then check out my headquarters template. It's got over 1,200 users and a 5-star rating. It's got so many amazing features, and it might just change your productivity forever. Click on this video here to check it out, and thank you for watching.